Hello, this is Mayor Chris Bollwage, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Our City. You can stay connected with all of the operations and events going on in the city of Elizabeth by following us on our social media accounts or calling our public information office at 908 820 4124. And I'm pleased to be joined on this week's show by Miss Camille Cusumano, who is an author of two books that have to do with the city of Elizabeth, the last being The Mystique of the Last Cannoli, and the first one is called The Last Cannoli. Camille, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So, Camille, first of all, tell us why we're doing this on Zoom, where you're located, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, we're on Zoom because I live in San Francisco, which I've lived in for many years, but I'm often back east. I've been a writer all my career. I've worked on in food, in travel, lots of travel. This is my mom's cookbook. I don't know if you can see it if I'm holding it correctly,
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
yeah. Anyway, since I still write travel and essays that are very personal, not so much where to go, what to do, but my real love is fiction. And I have, just two published fiction, but lots of other novels that aren't published yet. So I'm very active. I don't know if this is relevant, but I'm a tango dancer. I've written a book on tango.
Wow.
Um, Tango in Argentine Love Story. It's a memoir of living in Buenos Aires in 2006 to 2010. And I write lots about my big family because we're close, even though we are spread around the world. It's amazing, but we have reunions maybe every other year, but we'll have one in October back in New Jersey. So I love writing about them, and we're very blessed. Knock on wood. We got through the hard stuff in life, and right now we're pretty healthy. So my novel is based in Elizabeth because I like writing period pieces, and I was back there when so much happened. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. Just basically, it's narrated by Carmela, the youngest of 10. That's not me. I am the fifth of 10. And she's trying to help her father, who's a humble produce vendor, who wants to get this mansion, it's fictional, in Elizabethport to renovate and turn into an orphanage because all his 10 kids are gone and he has empty nest syndrome. So he wants to start with 10 more kids, six girls, four boys, like what he had, and then, keep going. But there's a local mischievous guy. We'll call him a hood. He's a two-bit hood, and he's causing problems for Vincent, the father.
So, Camille, before you get into that story, you wrote a first book too called The Last Cannoli. Now, is this second book that you just wrote about that you mailed me? By the way, I read them both, and the second one you sent me was what intrigued me. So you sent me the first one, so I read it backwards. But is the second one a follow-up to the first one in any way?
I like to call it a follow-up because you don't need to read both. Um, the second one is has a stronger narrative arc with the two little mysteries. I call it a more plot driven. The first one, some people like better. It's very voice driven, very character driven. And if you read the first one, you might get confused. All the characters have their chapters and different things, and they carry the story along. And there is an arc, but you don't need to read them both. And I wish people would, but
Well, I'm one of those who read them both.
well,
So,
thank you. I am so honored.
and the second, I mean, when you mailed me the second one and you mentioned that you grew up in Elizabeth, and I took notice to an awful lot of the similarities to what is not only in the past, but still here. And in the first book and the second book, you refer to Christine Street.
Yes,
And in the first book, you spell it phonetically, as in
yeah,
Christine,
that
but
was my
it's
copy editor.
no, but it's pretty cool because if anybody newly arrives in Elizabeth, they think it's Christine Street,
Right.
but the
Oh,
correct pronunciation is Christine Street.
that's always what I heard, Christine.
And you're
Yes,
right,
in Peterstown.
in Peterstown. Correct.
Many of my Sicilian relatives landed there.
I know I got a kick. I've been to Ribera, Sicily, and Palermo, and I've been to Agrigento, which you've referenced in both books as well.
Yes. Oh, wow. Wonderful. That's rare because so many people just go to the boot.
No, and Secca Grande, which is right next to Ribera, is where we stayed. So I might be pronouncing that, but
Sounds good to me.
that. So Elizabeth was chosen as your setting because that's where you were born and raised briefly before you moved.
Yeah, yes. I lived there till 4, and then we moved to Rahway, New Jersey, and that's in the book too. But Elizabeth, we went there a lot because my grandparents still live there, and we had relatives in Linden, so they were very close. So, and then so I was wondering, you said much is still the same. Are the two train stops still there?
Yes, the two train stops. Matter of fact, with New Jersey Transit and the federal government, just redid the Elizabeth train station to the tune of $75 million.
And there's going to be a big event there for the birthday, the nation's birthday in October.
Yes, hopefully, if it all comes together.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
When are you here in October?
I arrive October 2 for a wedding and a
Okay.
reunion on October 3, and I'll stay until Chamber of Commerce tells me what to do.
Oh, good.
They've enlisted me for this, and I'm so pleased.
Oh, good. I didn't know. I'm going to be with them tonight. We're cutting a ribbon on the 250th building where they're going to show off an awful lot of. Do they have a copy of your book?
Oh yes, that's why they contacted me.
Okay.
I forget. I Jennifer and who's the other woman I spoke to?
Wanda
Wanda.
Lundy. Yeah.
Wanda was so excited. She said, "This is a movie." I said, "Yes, let's make a movie."
So the mystique of the last cannoli is
Yes,
somewhat based on your family and your personal experiences, of course.
yes,
But when I first spoke with you off camera, you told me I thought one of your family members was deceased. Because the book has him deceased. But that's
yes.
not true. Your family
No,
is alive and well.
I know, I know. It was a little scary to do that, but we are mortal, but we are healthy and alive. And yeah, so because it's fiction, I thought I could kill one of them off and bring her back. I still bring her back in the novel,
Well,
in
and I
dreams.
know, and in the first book, is the one woman's husband maybe in the underworld? Joe?
No, no. I think in the first book, they got separated because he was having an affair. Is
Oh
that
yeah, but
that?
they kept having kids.
I got to
So,
clean that up. No, I think they had the kids and then they got
oh,
separated. I'll
I
I'll look.
misread it.
No, I
Yeah.
that might be me. I'll look back.
No, I got the
But
impression that he was in a job that clearly took him away without explaining it, and
but but
so
I
one of the other things we talked about in the book was the history of Elizabeth and some of the things you talked about how much it cost from Manhattan and the Mariner's Mansion and Elizabethport. You talked about James Cook in Tuesday, November 19th. I got a really big kick out of how you tied in the history of Elizabeth and current day stories. And I told you, I said the city was named after Philip Carteret. You have it after the cousin. It was actually his
his
wife
wife
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for correcting that. And I think there was something else I got a little off because it's fiction. I'm not too upset.
Oh,
But
exactly. No, but it was fascinating to read all of that. So, is there any significance, Camille, in the time period in which the story takes place that you chose?
yes, yes.
Tell us
Uh,
about that.
well, first off, I chose 85 because, as you might know, that's where the first cannoli ends in 1985. And as I started to write it and research it, I've researched all these things that were happening in 85, like the Live Aid concert for hunger in Africa. And the nun, Sister Julieta, the Kenyan beautiful black nun who is in there, she's fiction. But when in 2014, I worked in slums in Nairobi teaching tango to kids. It was a beautiful experience. So I invented her out of that experience, and I did go to meet orphans there. So I know that this could happen, that she could bring them. Yeah. So the main reason is just, and I as I wrote it, I thought it could just all happen in November 85. I like that it could start on All Saints Day and then end on Thanksgiving Day, which is our our feast. Our Italian American feast is Thanksgiving. We don't care too much about Christmas because there are too many of us to buy gifts, but food and Thanksgiving, that's our big thing.
So in that story, you talked about a lot of trips that the senior Vincent had to the Villa Roma.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and you mentioned the owner named Frank. Well, the owner was actually a man named Frank. His name was Frank
Oh,
Benenato,
I
and
didn't
you
know
told me
that.
that was strictly coincidence.
Strictly coincidence. I love it. Is he still around?
No, no, he's passed on a long time
Oh,
ago. The Villa
wow.
Roma is no longer there, but
Yes.
uh, but that's on the border of Elizabeth and Linden, or it was. And I went there many times. They used to have the
Yeah.
thin crusted pizza. And so
Oh, wow.
I got a kick out of, and you guessed because his name was Frank.
Yes,
So
I love it. I love it. And yeah, well, I wish he were around to know that, but we did many weddings and events at the Villa Roma. So
well,
it's an important.
his daughter was our purchasing agent here in the city for many years. She's retired now, lives in Florida, but she was our purchasing agent.
Well, I should send her a copy of the book.
Yeah, if I had her address, I'd give it to you. Uh,
Oh, well, if you
I'll,
ever get it,
I will.
yeah.
Why did you choose cannoli as an important part of both stories?
Well, because it was a special dessert in our family when I was growing up. We only had it, as I recall, at Thanksgiving because that's when we all got together, and it was an expensive pastry, and we got it from Bella Palermo in Elizabeth,
That's
which I
still
think is
here.
I
That's
love it.
still here.
Yes, I have to contact them. Um, and it was my absolute favorite dessert. And then as the years went on and we all had this nostalgia for cannoli, it kind of got sanctified as a special thing. And my mom started to make it. She got the cylinders to deep fry the shells and came up with a filling. I have her recipe in the book. And so it got sanctified really in the first novel because, um, well, you know what happened with the deceased grandfather, what he did.
All
So
right.
then it sort of just became this magical touchstone for me, and the novel kind of grew around that. And then Carmela has this, it's so precious to her, this whole thing that this in the opening you find out this cannoli goes back to 1941. It's in the freezer and it's, like an omen, a good luck charm. So I won't say too much more about it.
No,
There's,
how much of the story you spend a lot of time with the senior gentleman in Vincent? Does he resemble your father in any way?
yeah, he does. In the first book, especially, if you notice in the first book, he's very domineering and
Yes.
my word and traditional patriarch. But in real life, he did get softer as he aged. And Magdalena's not quite like my mother, but I wanted this one to be more a stronger mother. And so it was easy. I had ideas about how my father softened. And and I think I already told you this. He really did want to adopt 10 more kids. And that coincidentally, we used to write letters back in the 80s. He wrote to me and said he just adopted two uh, kids from Kosovo. And he said, my goal is to adopt six girls and four boys, just like you guys. So I thought, yeah, yeah, that's my dad. He loved kids.
So, speaking of that, then, how many grandchildren are there if he was still here today?
Oh, I wish I'd written that down. So there are about 25 grandchildren in the first tier, and then their kids, another 25 and growing.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
so it's somewhere close to 60 if you go the two tiers. And actually, he even has a great grandson now.
Wow.
I have to write it down to keep track.
Well,
Yeah,
I hope to see you in October when you come
I hope
here,
so. Absolutely. I will make a point.
because I have all the chamber events, and if not, you can stop by the office, or I can meet you in Peterstown and we can walk around a block or two and point things out.
Oh, is the cafe still in Peterstown? The Italian cafe?
I don't know which one. There's the Ribera Cafe, they have a
Oh,
club, and the Valadace folks have a club. They're not open a lot, but they're still there. And
well, I'll try to.
Sammy's the cafe is not open a lot either. Where
Well,
you
I'll
can,
contact them. I'd love to drop in. We used to go there, and we used to go to the funeral parlor nearby.
yeah, they're gone. Corsentino's is
Oh,
gone.
no, it was. I think it was Peppers.
Petrocelli's,
Yes,
Petrocelli's is still there. Scutro's is gone, but Petrocelli's is still there.
we always went to Petrocelli. Yeah.
Matter of fact, in the cafe, Mira Sorvino did a movie before she won Best Actress, and it was a
Wow.
movie about. If you Google her earliest movie, Mira Sorvino, it's a
Yeah, I will.
movie. It's a movie about a family in Peterstown, and,
Oh, I love.
it was fascinating. And this is before she became a big deal. I had Demitassen coffee with her in the cafe when she did the movie.
Wonderful. I'll try to contact her too.
Yeah, it
I
was
should
done
contact.
very early in her career.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Wonderful.
yeah. So
Well,
thank you very much, Camille, for taking the time to join me today.
my pleasure, and thank you.
And I hope to see you in October when you come visit Elizabeth.
Definitely. I'll stop by your office.
I want to thank Miss Camille Cusumano for joining us on the show this evening, and both her books, The Mystique of the Last Cannoli, as well as The Last Cannoli, which was first. And here we are sharing it with the author, where she's going to be here in October to talk with some of us during our 250th celebration. This is Chris Bollwage. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.